Good evening and welcome to the Kechi City Council meeting. Today is Thursday, May 14th. Debbie, would you please call roll?
Tracy Moreland. Here. Hayden Aldridge. Here.
Here.
This evening we're going to please stand and we're going to have a moment of silence followed by the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to tonight's approval of agenda. Council, are there any changes? Any additions? Chris, are there anything changed from? Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Oh, and striking. Yes, striking number 11, executive session. Thank you.
I move to approve the agenda as written with striking item 11, executive session.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Hedstrom, second by Councilmember Baldridge. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Moving on to the approval of consent agenda. Any changes to the consent agenda? I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Moreland, second by Councilmember Baldridge. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Moving on to communication. Are there any Kechi civic groups or committees that would like to speak tonight? Okay, go ahead.
Just as a reminder, the Kechi Fair Committee is sponsoring the garage sales for June 13th. So that'll be our official citywide garage sale day. You can get permits, I believe, through the city.
I see nothing else. We'll move on. So we'll do you want to do the gas rebate drawing first or after other announcements? Okay.
Tarina. Oh, it's Tarina.
Oh, Tarina Atherton.
Yes.
The first winner is Tarina Atherton. McDonough. The second winner is McDonough. Congratulations to both winners. Okay, community announcements. Check the Friends of Kechi Park Facebook page for upcoming fundraising events, how to give towards a new playground fundraising needs, and to sign up to volunteer with the upcoming community build, June 8th to the 13th. There are 3 volunteer shifts daily and no experience is required. The Kechi Chamber of Commerce is hosting the Kechi Farmers Market for 2026. Opening day is June 4th from 4 to 6:30 at the United Methodist Church parking lot. Support local. The Kechi United Methodist Church continues to host their weekly community dinner every Tuesday night from 5:30 to 7:30. Come enjoy dinner and connect with your neighbors. I've heard the last one, I think they said there was like 100 people there. So it's becoming a big deal. Are you interested in serving on the Kechi Park Board? Please contact Mayor Joni Harris at jharris@kechiks.gov and share why you desire to serve on the Park Board and what you're passionate about. Meetings are held the first Monday of each month at 6 p.m. at City Hall. There is one seat available. Just a reminder, annual testing is required before activating your sprinkler system this season. Your backflow prevention device must be tested by a certified backflow tester. This test is required annually to help protect our public water supply from potential contamination. Completed test results must be submitted to City Hall no later than May 31st. Results may be brought in person or mailed to City Hall, or you may email your results to bwoodworth@kechiks.gov. If you do a search on the City of Kechi website, choose backflow device testing for your search. A list of certified and licensed businesses are listed. If you have any questions, call City Hall at 316-744-9287. The Kechi Arts Council has decided to focus on refreshing the fire hydrants within the Arts and Business District boundary only. A member of KAC will be contacting property owners within that district with instructions, application forms for design, and will provide paint and needed supplies. The K254 Interchange Study has announced their next public open house for June 4th from 5 to 7 at Wichita Northeast Magnet High School, 5550 North Lacey Street in Bel Air. At the open house, KDOT will share the proposed interchange concepts along with the proposed short-term and long-term improvements along the corridor between Rock and Greenwich. Public feedback is desired to further refine improvement recommendations. And that is it for community announcements. Do we have any public comments, Debbie? Anyone signed up?
Mike Porter.
Mike Porter, please come forward. Please state your name and address for the record. Oh, sorry.
You skipped item C.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Addressing
Okay.
previous public comments.
My apologies. It'll be just a moment, sir. Is there someone who wants to address public comments?
Yeah, I would if
Absolutely. Go ahead.
no one else.
Go ahead.
You want to address the accusations that were brought up last meeting?
At the last meeting?
Yep.
No, I have declined.
Okay. So we were able to, at last meeting, there were accusations made against the chief of improper, actually abusive behavior during an arrest, or not an arrest, but an incident. We were able to watch the body cam video of that, and Chief Moore conducted himself in a very professional, a very kind, respectful manner during this incident. He assisted EMS and kept the individual in question safe. He acted exactly like I would want him to act and was very professional and handled the situation very well. So I understand people make accusations. They think things happen sometimes that don't, but body cam video doesn't lie. And so I would not consider making accusations of that nature to be brave. So that's my findings. I think everybody else has watched the video as well.
Thank you.
Anybody else wants to add any comments?
Thank you. Sir, please. Just name and address for the record, please.
I'm Mike Porter. I'm the manager of Stormwater 254 over on Huffman Drive. The address is 5701 East Huffman Drive, 316-744-7867. I'm here to address the council. It's a new council since some things were brought up last year. We've had a meeting with Matt and the property owners along Huffman Drive in November. Some calls were presented to us, and it was in the neighborhood of $850,000 for an asphalt reconstruction of the road. Everybody voiced concerns about that because it was going to put specials on us. The consensus of the owners, myself, is we've been there for 10 years. Nothing's ever been done to that road in 10 years. Not even the snow's been taken off of it. Okay? So you collected taxes on us for 10 years. We've been there since 2016. Nothing's been done. Hubbard Construction has been there a lot longer, and you've collected taxes on them, and nothing's been done to the road. Now, previous council, from what I understood, was it was presented, and the council was going to do something like 70% of it. 70% would have left $240,000 back to the property owners. That was kind of balked at by the property owners during that meeting, and because of the lack of things that's been done to that road and what have you. So I've been talking on that, and he's gotten hold of PEC. Is PEC here, Don? Okay. He's gotten hold of PEC and got other estimates for a rolled concrete road, and it's around $600,000. Okay? So $600,000 compared to $850,000, that's $250,000 difference. Okay? That's the 70% that the previous council discussed and it would be. Okay? You're gonna have a hard time with property owners applying specials for it because of lack of things that's been done. It's gonna be a hard fought fight. Because of the lack of things that's been done in the past. I don't want to go on record. It's kind of misnomer, but I read on one of the council meetings that the council voted $361,000 for playground equipment. Now, I'm all for the kids playing in playground equipment, but if the city can pay $361,000 for playground equipment, then they could pony up the full cost of the $600,000 and some odd thousand for rolled concrete. Questions?
Council, any response?
And it's, what's really bad about it is it's been going on, the discussion's been going on since November. Here we are almost in June and nothing's happened. And it's getting worse. It went over last week and tore up a bunch of asphalt and put down rocks. Now we got nothing but a dust storm over there. I've got people with $200,000 and $400,000 motorhomes over there and classic cars that call me continuously and complain. So I'd like for the council to consider whatever proposal. The last time I talked to Matt was a couple weeks ago, and he was wanting to combine it with the Casey's interchange to see if they can get a better price. We need something done. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bunch of empty buildings over there. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. But, just my position back then now, I want to be clear, no decision has been made.
No decision has
So,
been made. None
This has all
whatsoever.
been
It's just
in
been
discussion.
discussion and just playing with numbers.
My position has been and is still that we owe it to the property owners to maintain what was there. If what we're going back with is better than what was previously there, and I know there's been some discussion of whether that was a temporary road or what the whole story was with that. If we're going back with something better, then I think the property owners should have some stake in that. But the city's responsibility is to maintain what was there, and that's what we owe you.
And it hasn't been maintained. I mean, the only good part on it is where you cut across the road to put a new sewer line in, you know. And, you know, I know that it was, you know, my boss or the owner of Stormore, he bought all those lots over there. We had to put in the fire hydrants in order to build. We had to carry a letter of credit for
10 years?
5 or 6 years.
Okay, I was trying to remember how long.
Yeah,
it took.
so we had to pay for that for 5 or 6 years, you know, until we got 70% occupancy over there. But it's just getting worse.
Yeah, we all agree something needs to be done.
I want to get the ball rolling on this because, you know, nothing's getting done.
It's also a challenge that quite frankly, the road was in pretty decent condition. And the trucks have done a lot of damage to it. So there's things there. If we need improvements over and above what was there, then we gotta figure something out.
The last discussion with Matt was, he's talked to Park City, who put in rolled concrete in the Champtown area, and they're very happy with it. And it's supposed to last and keep up with the truck traffic.
I know he's looking for alternatives to get the price down, and that's all that mention of working with Casey's is if you can do 2 projects at once
And I
economy of scale, that's all that.
Like I
It's
say,
a possibility, but they're not linked as a project.
it was over $800,000 left on the first bid, and previous council said that something in the neighborhood of like 70% of that they would be willing to pay for. That 70% covers the $600,000 now. So, thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Debbie? Cheryl? Please state your name and address. Thank you.
All right. I'm Cheryl Hobson, 622 North Shawnee Circle. So I want to address it was actually an article on the land. And it was about, and I know it's a federal, state, whatever, law about the public restrooms. And so I just want to say that, I think that I hope that you guys are going to have some training on that. And that if, thinking through that, I think the purpose of that, was primarily to keep men, what they call, trans women, calling them men, out of the women's bathrooms. So, I think what we're going to have a problem with is twofold. And that is, number one, is that men are going to be in the women's bathrooms because they're trans men. I mean, they are men, right? So even though they were born female. So you're going to have, that's what the law says, is that people that are born female are going to be going to the women's bathroom. Well, those people now, the trans men are men. So, in your training, I hope that we're going to be aware of that. And that you cannot necessarily just look at someone and say, oh, gee, there's a trans guy or a trans woman, or, I mean, I don't know how you're going to tell the difference. But, and then the real concern I have, though, is about the men that were born male going in women's bathrooms and saying, oh, hey, it's okay, I was born female. Those are the creeps, right? How are you going to know? Right, so may seem out there, but it's not. And I think we're going to have a lot of lawsuits over that. So I really hope that we have training over this. I hope that we don't have creeps and perverts here in Kechi that will abuse that and try that. But I don't know. Right? So it's just things that we're going to have to, in today's world, that we have to think about. How are you going, this is going to be difficult. How are you going to do this? So,
Council, any response? I guess I would look to you, Andrew, because it's a law, so
It's a law.
I don't really know how we would respond.
but we are gonna have, I guess my question is, we are gonna have training, right? I mean, somebody's gonna do something.
Sure, so, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's state law that's been passed and applies to the city, and so I think it was the last meeting, maybe the meeting before that, we adopted the policies and procedures that were put out by the league as recommendations in order to comply with those. Those include surveying city properties for the appropriate spaces to identify them, and having policies and procedures and training with staff to determine the best way to administer those as best you can. I mean, we don't have any control over the state law, so we're doing the best we can to comply with what we've been given.
Right. And who is going to administer the training?
I think we've gotten that far.
Yeah, I don't know that we've gotten that far yet,
Oh,
but
they haven't said,
who
the
would that-
state?
No, there's no.
Not that I've read.
No.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we know something, we'll follow up and let you know.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Debbie? Okay, we will close public comment and we will move on to unfinished business. Playground project update. Chris?
I think everybody should have the paper in front of them. It's, from what I can tell, kind of self-explanatory. Up at the top, we kind of have where the fundraising total is which what I understood was that is the total funds needed for the purchase. And then kind of as you go through, it's all grouped together. My understanding that that little middle part where there's the percentages was that's Connor and them's just kind of
Projections.
yeah, on what they're saying, on the sponsorships, you'll get the 65% from that, the grants is the 10, of where you're gonna get some of the money. And then as you just kind of work your way down, each kind of part is individualized. Kind of the total, I think, that we received all the way at the bottom. Total raise from all the events is the 683. Still remaining to raise is the 159,324. Went over it briefly.
We're at 407,804 of the 567.
Yeah.
39.
Correct.
So I thought I heard last meeting, like April 28th, they were kind of having a deadline.
I know they've got the one coming up. It's the door-to-door. It's this weekend.
Oh,
Well, they'll go and do a door-to-door event to raise money.
My understanding with that April 28th deadline was that they had to have 65% of the total cost
I think
raised
so.
for Play by Design to come for the pre-construction
Yeah.
visit.
From my understanding, they're still looking at wanting to do it in June. I know there was some talk about trying to push it back to fall.
That's a question that I have is what is our hard date? Because technically right now we have money raised for the playground itself,
Correct.
but not for the surfacing. That's like a technical way of looking at it. And so does the city have a hard date of when monies have to be raised?
I don't think he went over that with me. I don't know if it was that 1st of June. I don't wanna speculate. I don't wanna throw out a date when I could be wrong.
if the playground demo is scheduled for May 30th, gotta know.
Yeah.
Do you have
Before
actually a
that.
schedule yet? I mean, that was actually a fundraiser event, was that say goodbye thing? Do you have dates yet that you're looking at for doing tear down and prep? You don't? Okay. Okay, I do have a technical question. I know you're not gonna be able to answer it, but I would like to go ahead and ask it. Originally when the council passed the $310,000, it was for the equipment. But part of the fundraising that's going on is for people to sponsor the equipment. So how does that work when the governing body has authorized funds for the equipment, but now there's fundraising happening to sponsor equipment? Because that was the total cost for the equipment.
I would have to look at the exact budget and how that all happened to give you a detailed answer
Okay.
on that. I mean, yeah, I have to look exactly all that to see whether those monies are fungible or exactly how that was done.
I think that would have to be if they were specifically earmarked. I know that's the amount of the equipment, but if the resolution or the,
Yeah, I
what
have to
we
go back and look
passed
at the
specifically said
approval
it's for
that was made to
equipment
see whether it
versus
was
Okay.
specifically
specific
for
parking.
equipment.
Okay.
I don't recall off the top of my head.
I had some people in the community ask that it's like, but if that's what the council approved the money for, it's like, why is fundraising happening for sponsorship for the equipment? So, said, I don't have an answer and I will ask. So, okay.
Circle back around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any other questions, council?
So if I recall correctly, the hybrid build is what we're doing now, what we're planning to do, where they're coming in and they're helping and we're gonna have, it's not a total volunteer build.
Correct.
Do we have a deadline for when we know whether or not we have volunteers? Because if we don't get enough volunteers, what does that do to the cost? And I don't know where they are on
If
volunteers.
we don't have enough volunteers, it has to go to a full build. I believe it's another, is it $250,000? Yeah. It's an additional to have a full build done. And so, yeah, I guess that would be the other question is what's the deadline for having enough volunteers at least to start? What's that deadline? So.
I don't recall the date.
Okay. So council, I would just seek a motion to receive and file the update.
I move that we receive and file the playground project update.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Moreland, second by Councilmember Hedstrom. All in favor? Motion passes 3-0. Okay. Thank you for that, Chris, trying to pitch hit on that. Okay, moving on to new business, 9A, annual appointment of officers. So section 1-401 of the city code states, at the first regular meeting in May of each year, the mayor, by and with the consent of the council, shall appoint a city clerk and city treasurer, and may appoint the city attorney, municipal judge, chief of police, and such other officers as may be deemed necessary for the best interests of the city. Such officers shall hold their respective offices until their successors have been appointed and qualified. All such appointments shall be entered on the journal of proceedings over the governing body. The duties and salaries of all appointed officers shall be fixed by ordinance. First off, council, I would like to have you remove City Administrator Matt Jensby from this list. Reason being, the ordinance does not call for the mayor to appoint the city administrator annually. The city administrator is appointed by ordinance when they are hired and they are under contract. So, and secondly, with all the rest of the names that you have before you, I will make an appointment for all except for the chief of police, Braden Moore. And I would entertain a motion.
I so move.
Motion fails then for no second, and there is no appointments made for the city of Kechi at this date.
Andrew, that means everybody in the position continues to serve.
That is correct. While all officers stay in their positions until a qualified and approved replacement has been appointed and approved, consented to by the council.
Correct. Okay, moving on to the AP policy discussion. Okay, so council, this has been a new procedure that started in January, and there's just been a few little challenges or issues to work through. Council member Brewer has been really great for under the number 2 initialing each invoice. That actually shows me that he has approved it, and I'm really appreciative that I would like that added as part of the policy so that going forward it's clear and explained. Under invoice preparation, I am seeking to have a check report provided to the mayor for review prior to check signing. I was provided that check report when everybody attended the Kansas Rural Water Association and checks needed to be signed, and I was asked to review it ahead of time to be ready to sign before a meeting. I was given the check report again the next time, and then the last 2 times I have not been provided that check report, even though I requested it. It saves a lot of time on my part. It's a difference between like, we're in there for maybe 20 minutes, I have questions ready to go. It's a pretty fast process. Without it, I'm recording all of the checks and going through all the information, and it can take anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour. So just to streamline the process for employees, it appears that the check report is something that is produced by the computer system in the preparations for checks that are needing to be approved and signed. So putting that before council for consideration. And then under check signing, I would just like this clarification put in there. All checks that are pulled for missing information at the time of check signing must still be signed by the mayor or appropriate elected official in the mayor's absence prior to being mailed or delivered according to Kechi City Code 1-205, powers of the mayor. F, sign all orders and drafts drawn upon the city treasury for money. So those are just 3 things that I would like us to consider. Like I said, by initialing each invoice, that's already happening. And Councilmember Brewer has not indicated that he has an issue with that. And it does create our checks and balances. So, any discussion, council? And if you want to table this for a later time, discussion with the full council, I'm willing to do that. If you want to think about it, that's fine too. It's whatever you want to do.
I will say that when this first came about, there were some things that I felt were missing from it, and I do think that these help close some of those loops. And as far as the check report, I'll say that from my experience, unless everything has changed, there's 2 parts of the accounts payable process. There's the accounts payable packet, and then there's the check packet. And on both of them, previously, there was a report that was done at the end of both of them. Because I know personally, I've done them. So unless it's changed, those reports should be very easy to provide as part of that process. So that's not something that I'm out of process. If clarifying that initialing each invoice, if that was what the spirit of the procedure was for, then that's just clarifying. And I think the last one is making sure that we are following city ordinance. So.
I would probably want to table this until Matt Brewer can be here and give some input,
Absolutely. I have no problems with that at all. Okay.
since he's reviewing that.
Yes. Not a problem. So we will table that to hopefully the next meeting. We'll just put that, it'll get back on the agenda under unfinished business. Great. Okay, moving on to council reports, discussion, and requests. Council, do you have any reports? Okay, so I will give a monthly mayoral report. So I attended the League of Kansas Municipalities City Leaders Academy held this year in Salina in April. The day-long training focused on COMA, municipal finance and budgeting, home rule, and how to navigate the legislative process as a local elected official. Attendees also received the League's governing body handbook. I attended all of the Play-by-Design pre-construction meetings on April 28th to gain insight on the process of what is coming to Kechi. I believe it's important for elected officials to have knowledge of community projects, especially when taxpayer dollars are involved. I hosted the first Community Conversations event on Saturday, April 25th. The next quarterly opportunity is July 25th. On May 2nd, I attended the Blossom Fest at Eldersley Farm, as well as the Kechi Kite Festival. There was a good turnout at both events, seeing friends and neighbors gathering together. Next year, I think we'll try to order just a bit more wind for the Kite Festival. Thank you to Eldersley Farm and the Kechi Chamber of Commerce for 2 fun events. I attended the final legislative update of the year in Newton for our Senate district. May 8th, I attended the K254 Corridor Development Association meeting at the Park City Senior Center. Highlights included a safety moment shared by Howard Lubliner, who is a transportation engineer. We heard the KDOT local consult findings and plans. That was for the previous study that was done for the full safety corridor minus Rock, Webb, and Greenwich. I think that was in 23 or 24. Do you remember, Thomas?
No.
It's been a couple years. It must have been 24. Anyway, you can find more information on the KDOT website. There was a project overview for K254 River Valley Road intersection improvement that is about to happen. And there was an update on the newly formed Northwest Expressway Group, which is on the west side of the Wichita area. I think it connects Mays to Goddard. I think that's the general area of it. May 9th, I attended the Sedgwick County Association of Cities at the Park City Senior Center, where the main focus was a presentation on mastering media engagement with KWCH-TV anchor Michael Schwenke. Additionally, the social media policy for the SCAC Facebook page was discussed and how best to administrate the page going forward. Attendees also heard a Sedgwick County update from Chairman Jeff Blubaugh. May 9th, I also attended the Kansas Family Voice Legislative Forum as I continued to be engaged with elected officials, ranging from locally elected officials to state representatives. Today, I attended the REAP meeting, which had a presentation by WSU regarding their strategic plan 2025 to 2030 from Zach Gearhart. Some impressive statistics were shared. I was really impressed. WSU retains approximately 55% of their out-of-state students and 70% of students overall who remain in the state of Kansas post-graduation and find employment due to the established business pipeline connections intentionally created by WSU, which is a much higher statistic than any other university or college in the state of Kansas. WSU's educational focus is applied learning. They've now I think it's almost fully developed, the Innovation Campus, WSU Tech, and soon the much anticipated Biomedical Campus. It was a fantastic presentation, and hearing the impact regarding WSU's contribution to investing in making the greater Wichita area desirable for higher education, creative educational models, and partnering with private businesses. WSU is truly securing Wichita's title of Air Capital of the World, especially engaging in the innovative campus. It was very impressive. So that's all I have. Is there any other discussion or requests?
I just have one request, and I guess this would be of Chris, and I know that you won't have this right off the top of your head, but when I was looking through the budget reports and things, and I could not remember, but is there a line item for the revenue from, Cora requests? So when when the payment for Cora request is received, where is that?
There
Covered
is a line item on there.
Okay.
So like if I'm receiving the money,
Yes,
yes, I would put it in. There is a core line on there.
okay, because when the report that we had, it wasn't on there, but I also know that when there were several other, or a few that were on one form but not on the other, and I didn't see that on either one, so I was just curious about that one.
I'll double check it. But
Okay.
I'm almost positive.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it is because we've taken, I
So,
know we always charged on core and then kind of.
well, that was one of the things, because, so obviously, I was subject to at least more than one. So I was just curious as to where, if we had been receiving an increased number, where those funds were going. So, and based on Facebook posts that we saw, have we not been charging? Is there a reason why we haven't been charging? Okay, I just was curious as to,
I think it's the volume. It used to be a one-time,
You had just one
very
every now and then.
infrequent request, and now it's become.
okay, well,
I'm only gonna be speculating, so don't
Okay.
take this as, cause I've not had this conversation with anybody inside the city. But what I have seen as a trend in cities in the past couple of years, when they amended the statute at the state level to say that, it used to be like a quarter a copy and then
Yes.
staff time, right? Well, a couple of things happened. First, the law was changed to say a quarter is too much. It has to be your actual copy. So whatever the 1 cent per copy is on a copy machine. And then it said it has to, if you're going to charge staff time, it has to be your lowest paid staff member at the city. So all of a sudden, the allowable charges went way down, and that together with the fact that most core requests are not paper anymore, it's all being pulled electronically and scanned, and there's no copies to charge anyway. And so again, I'm not suggesting anything specific to Kechi, but I have seen in several cities where the amount that could be charged has come down so far that staff has just been, well, okay, well, if it's all electronic and we can't charge anything other than our $9 an hour employee, if it takes us 15 minutes or an hour or whatever, we'll just do it. But again, don't take that as that's happened here. I'm only
no,
giving
because I
you
know that,
what I've seen in other
Well,
places.
I know that what was standard previously
Mm-hmm.
was that we estimated the amount of staff time,
Right.
and we did use the lowest. We had a cost per employee per hour that included the benefits, so that we had that. We used it when Thomas had to go out and repair somebody damaging a guardrail. So how much time? So it was something that we had been doing previously, and I just noticed that there wasn't any line item. So I just was
And again,
curious. as to
don't
what
take
was
my
that.
statement as specific to anything that's happened here. I've just seen that in other
No,
places.
and I think that Facebook post that said, hey, we're now charging, I was like, I thought we always have, there's a fee resolution for it.
That's
So
true.
why we weren't following if we are not following our fee resolution, is there a reason why we're not?
My understanding, and I don't even know that we fixed it and talked, but we had so few forever, and now we don't.
Okay.
We get a lot.
I
And
would say,
it's, you could almost have one employee here doing core.
okay, and would that not be a better reason to actually charge for them? I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, that's, I think, kind of why the charges went back in place. Is
Okay,
because-
well, I guess my question was, why did we stop?
It is a
Even if it was one or
resolution.
two,
Yeah.
we still charged. Because I will say, I think in a year's time, we probably did 3. And I know there was one we expected every year, and it was from a company asking for everybody's payroll, how much did they earn,
Yeah.
how many employees did we have, but we still charged them for the amount of time that it took, even if it was $40, just because it all adds up. So that was just my question, so I could see where it was.
I do have a request for City Administrator Dinsby. that the Kechi Police Department social media policy, that each member of the governing body would receive a copy, please. Okay, council, is there anything else? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hedstrom, second by Councilmember Baldridge. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Meeting's over. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a great evening.